Hello, I hope you're all doing well. This is part 2 of my processing series. If you're new to the series, here's a quick overview of what we talked about in the first video. And since there are a lot of new people coming in, I try to make it so you can understand this video without having watched part 1. The goal of this video is to set up a character as your main processor. I recommend you use your main life skiller for that because you're gonna need a lot of weight for some of the heavier recipes. Also, it should be a non-season character because season characters have certain restrictions when it comes to equipping mastery gear. To set up the character, we're gonna need to equip them with some basic gear and level to master. That's because processing recipes need a certain level to unlock the maximum yield, and at Master 1 you're gonna be good for pretty much all recipes. In terms of setup, you're gonna wanna start by grabbing these 3 buffs: Seafood Crown Meal, Verdure Draft, and an Alchemy Stone. The easiest one would be getting a blue or green Spirit Stone off the market. Other buffs you can consider are, for example, the Trajan's Tear, that's an Alchemy Stone that gives life EXP, your pets, and the Daily Mercenary buff. Beyond that, just pick whatever you have access to. And on top of that, you wanna get some gear to increase your mastery. That will make leveling up much faster. If you're not ready to make an investment into processing yet, you can just grab a base Logia processing stone from Camilla Logia over at Logia Farm. A processing stone is gonna be needed to use mass processing, but I do recommend getting some proper gear even if you're just starting out. The gear I recommend is not that expensive and it's gonna last you for a while, and it's gonna help you level up faster right from the get-go. So I would recommend you get a Logia processing stone and try Craftsman's clothes. Now you might notice these silver imported clothes on the market. They give processing EXP and success rate, so they might seem like good beginner gear to level up your processing, but in my opinion they're a bit of a scam and you would be better off just getting a proper set of mastery gear, because more mastery means you're able to process more items at once, and that means both more money and EXP, so I would completely skip the silver imported clothes. In terms of accessories, I would recommend you get at least a set of Logia gear. These accessories are gonna give us mastery as well as a bit of life EXP, and they're gonna be used across multiple life skills, so getting a set of Logia or even Logia when you're just starting out is gonna be well worth the investment. And for all the gear I show here, you can enhance it yourself, but honestly I would just get them off the market. It's headache free and often not more expensive than self-enhancing. Finally, you wanna get a weight crystal setup because weight is gonna be hella important for processing. The setup I show here is a general purpose weight setup that you can use across multiple life skills. You don't have to get it right away, it's not gonna be super necessary for leveling to master, but you wanna get it eventually, so I'm just gonna put it here so the gear is all in one place. Alright, and with that we can start leveling. We're gonna be processing flax into flax thread. It's light and it's really high XP, so perfect for leveling. You can get flax either from a node, this one here at Costa Farm. So if you had this node running, chances are you have a stack of flax over in your idle storage, and you can locate it using the storage search function. Otherwise I would just buy flax off the market, it's fairly cheap. Before you start processing, you wanna make sure that you have all gear equipped and popped all your buffs. In case you wanna run limited or expensive buffs, then I would save those for later and just pop the basic buffs for now. Then what you wanna do is open the processing menu by pressing the L key, put in the flax and select heating. To start processing, we can either press start, which is gonna begin regular processing, but what we wanna do is mass processing. Mass processing is gonna require having that processing stone, and compared to regular processing, each craft is gonna take 10 times longer, but we're gonna be able to process multiple items at once in so-called batches. The batch size depends on your mastery, and you can check it by opening the character menu, heading to the life skill tab and hovering over your mastery. So here you can see I have 587 mastery, and that means we can process 39 items at once. And if you do the math, we got 10 times longer processing times, but can process 39 items at once. We're already gonna be 3.9 times faster than with regular processing. And as we level up our processing, we'll get more mastery and gonna be processing even faster. Alright, we'll be processing flax until about professional, and at that point we're gonna take the flax thread we have produced and process it further into flax fabric. To do that, you wanna open the processing menu again, put in the flax thread, but this time select grinding and then again mass process. Flax fabric is extremely high XP, and if you get some more expensive buffs, then that's where you want to use them. So until Artisan 6 you wanna process flax into flax thread and then into flax fabric. Now, once you're Artisan 6, you're gonna be sitting on a small pile of flax fabric. And while flax fabric is really easy to produce and great EXP, it's not exactly easy to get rid of. You can either try to sell it on the market, which is gonna take quite a while because it's flooded, or a slightly more elegant solution is to turn it into life skill clothes in a costume mill. For example, if we locate the costume mill in Heidel, you can see that it goes into fisher's clothes, and by crafting those fisher's clothes, we're gonna get rid of the flax fabric and even be able to turn a slight profit. So keep in mind that if you're spamming out flax, you're gonna need to find some way to get rid of it, or you're gonna be sitting on it. But at Artisan 6, what we can do is already start processing timber. Processing timber is not only profitable, it's also quite good EXP. And if you're getting into timber processing, that's where it starts to become really useful to have a worker empire running that will bring in materials passively. So what you want to do is take this timber and chop it into planks and then into plywood. Now keep in mind, to process plywood you're gonna need beginner chopping knowledge, and that comes from a quest line starting at Faisi in Heidel. And I'll also link you a full walkthrough for that quest line. Alright, to close this off, I quickly want to show you an EXP calculator so you can get an idea of how long this whole process is gonna take. So here's Barist's EXP calculator. What you want to do here is go to File and then make a copy. And then you can start entering your mastery, the recipe you're processing, as well as your EXP buffs, and then finally your starting level and the goal level. So for example, if we have 500 mastery, process flax with these EXP buffs and want to get Artisan 6 from beginner 1, then it's gonna take about 5 hours. Now if we're swapping over to timber at Artisan 6, then it's gonna take another about 8 hours to get to master. So you can just plug in some numbers here and see how long reaching a certain level takes. And then once you're master, you're gonna be ready to process pretty much anything you need and can already start getting into the money making. And that's exactly what we're gonna be looking at in the next video. Take care!